Welcome to the first lecture of System Analysis and Design course. I am Dr. Ganeshan Amarasinghe, and in this lecture we are going to get to know the basics of information systems. We use a standard color coding scheme to make it easy for you to find the important points in the slides. So please take a moment to learn this color coding. So what is a system? Have you encountered systems before in your life? Can you think of any such systems? Let's take a moment to list down some systems we know. Take a pen and a paper and write down some systems that you know. I'm sure you may have written different types of systems. Biological systems such as our nervous system, or mechanical systems such as a combustion engine, or a quite familiar system to us, computer systems. If you have these type of systems in your list, then you are quite familiar with some of these systems. Today we live in a world of systems. Our world is a system of natural and human-made parts operating mutually to sustain life. So if I am to define a system can be defined as a relationship between different components which are linked or working together to achieve a common goal. So what is system analysis? System analysis is the method of identifying problems and organizing the facts and details of a system. System analysis can also be defined as the accurate categorization of a system into its components. It is essential to know what works with what makes something to fail, and what can work autonomously. Similar to that, system analysis and design is a methodology or a step-by-step process for developing information systems. Our expectation is that by following this step-by-step process, we will be able to produce such systems with high quality. So what is an information system? An information system is a system that combines information, technology, people, and data to support various business requirements. For example, information systems handle daily business transactions, improve company productivity, and also help managers make sound decisions. A typical information system has 5 main components. These components work together to achieve a common goal. So when we are analyzing and designing, we need to identify these components accurately. Hardware is the portion of an information system that can be touched. Servers, workstations, keyboards, disk drives, all of these components are examples of information systems hardware. Software is a set of instructions that directs the hardware to accomplish specific goals. There are two main categories of software: system software, which makes the hardware usable, and application software, which does useful things to the users. Data can be considered as a collection of facts. For example, the index number of students, phone numbers, marks are all pieces of data that we are quite familiar with. Companies collect all kinds of data and use it to make decisions. So nowadays, data has become the most valuable resource companies have. These judgments can then be analyzed as to their effectiveness, and the organization can be improved. People are also an important component of an information system. Individuals who have an enthusiasm for an information system are called stakeholders. Stakeholders incorporate the administrators, the clients inside and outside the organization who will connect with the information system, and IT staff individuals who will be managing the information system. IT staff may include software developers, analysts, database administrators, and so on. A process is a sequence of actions engaged to achieve a desired result or goal, which is also another important component of information systems. Information systems are nowadays shifting more and more to be integrated with organizational rules, providing more control to those processes. It has always been the opinion that the introduction of information systems will bring a competitive business advantage. In the ancient days of computing, the information systems were tailor-made or built as one-off solutions for a particular problem. However, it soon became apparent that many of the problems information systems set out to solve shared certain characteristics. So as a result, people attempted to try to build a single system that would solve a whole range of similar problems. However, they soon realized that in order to do this, it was first necessary to be able to define how and where the information system would be used and why it was needed. It was then only the search for a way to classify information systems accurately began. A process of classification can recognize the various types of information systems. The classification of information systems into various types is a useful technique for designing systems and discussing their applications. However, it is important to remember that different kinds of systems found in organizations exist to deal with the particular problems and tasks that are found in organizations. So when it comes to categorizing information systems, this three-level pyramid model that is illustrated here helps us to categorize types of information systems into three categories based on the types of decisions taken at different levels of companies. As you can see here, the transaction processing systems are used in operational decision making, which generally have near instant outcomes. Management information systems are used in tactical decision making that can result in short to medium term outcomes. And the executive information systems are used in strategic decision making that impacts the organization for a long term. Another approach to classifying information systems is to see how they are compared with each other. The four-level pyramid shown here can be used to conduct this comparison. As you can see here, higher up the pyramid that you go, higher stakes and responsibilities are there for the users of that particular system. Workers of an organization will mainly interact with the transaction processing systems, whereas C-level executives will always work with executive information systems. Transaction processing systems can be considered as operational level systems at the base of the pyramid. They are normally operated directly by shop floor workers or frontline staff, which provide the critical data needed to strengthen the management of services. This data is collected by tracking of low-level actions and essential transactions. The transaction processing systems are little more than mere data processing systems. Some examples of transaction processing systems include reservation systems, payroll systems, and stock control systems. So what about the role of transaction processing systems? So this role can be considered by four categories. Produce information for other systems. So these transaction processing systems will be producing information that can be used by other information systems. The second role will be crossing boundaries. So these transaction processing systems can be crossing internal boundaries as well as external boundaries. So for example, a transaction processing system might have to interact with some other information system that is outside the organization, thus crossing the external boundaries. These transaction processing systems are also used by operational personnel and supervisory levels. So the operational personnel like cashiers or shop floor workers might be using this system, as well as their supervisors will also be accessing this system. And these transaction processing systems are mainly efficiency oriented. So their main focus is improving the efficiency of the lower level workers in the organization, so that the overall efficiency and the revenue generated by the organization becomes higher. Many of the diverse types of information systems discovered in commercial organizations are designed as management information systems, or MIS for short. Within the pyramid model that we observed earlier, MIS or management information systems are management level systems that are used by middle managers to help guarantee the steady running of the business. The profoundly structured information given by management information systems enables managers to assess an organization's performance by analyzing the current outputs with the previous outputs. Typically, management information systems are built on the data provided by transaction processing systems. Some examples of management information systems include budgeting systems, inventory control systems, and sales management systems. So what are the roles of management information systems? These systems are generally based on the internal information flows. So unlike transaction processing systems that can cross the external boundaries, the management information systems are designed for internal information flows, and most of this internal information is flowing from the transaction processing systems. These systems support relatively structured decisions, and also they are inflexible and have little analytical capacity. They are usually predefined in the sense that the amount of changes that you can do to the structure of the decision making process is quite limited in these systems. They are designed to be used by lower and middle managerial levels, and they deal with the past and present data rather than the future. So basically they will be looking at previous data, comparing that against the present data to see whether there are any other improvements that can be made, but they are not looking into predicting about the future. Decision support systems, or DSS for short, are considered as knowledge-based systems employed by senior managers. Decision support systems promote the production of knowledge and allow its integration into the organization. Such systems are utilized to look at the organized data and enable senior managers to extend the potential impact of their choices into the future. These decision support systems offer access to databases and various analytical tools as well. They build upon the information coming from management information systems and transaction processing systems to produce useful insights about the business. Some examples of decision support systems include financial planning systems, group decision support systems, and logistics systems. So what about the role of these decision support systems? Well, they support ill-structured or semi-structured decisions. That means the structure of decision is not rigid. You have some control over their structure, and you can change that structure depending on the amount of data that is available. They have analytical or modeling capacity. They have access to analytical tools and modeling tools, and gives you some capacity to do the analytical, to analyze the system or to model the system depending on the data that you have. These systems are used by more senior managerial levels, and they are concerned with predicting the future. Unlike management information systems where you are only looking at the past, these DSS are concerned with predicting the future so that you can make sound decisions. They are also oriented towards the effectiveness of the overall organization. Executive Information Systems, or EIS, are strategic level information systems that are found at the top of the pyramid. They encourage officials, C-level executives, and senior managers to investigate the nature in which association works and to design proper plans that impact the vision of the organization. The data in executive information systems is frequently organized and originates from both inward and outside sources. Such systems are intended to be worked straightforwardly by administrators without the requirement for delegates. These systems organize and present data and information from both external data sources and internal management information systems or transaction processing systems in order to support and extend the inherent capabilities of senior executives. So what about the role of executive systems? Well, they are concerned with ease of use. The main user base for these systems are C-level executives or senior managers who do not have a lot of time to spend on meddling with these systems. So because of that, ease of use is a major concern. These systems are also concerned with predicting the future. They are looking at previous data, present data, and using other external data sources as well, and based on all this information, they are designed to predict the future or help predict the future. They are effectiveness oriented. So these systems are designed to be effective, and they are affecting the effectiveness of the overall organization as well. And they are of course highly flexible. Depending on the requirements of the administrators, they can be designed or they can be used in a way that can produce different types of results as required by the senior managers or C-level executives or administrators of the organization. They also support unstructured decisions because of this. So in this lecture, we looked at Introduction to Information Systems as part of the system analysis and design. System analysis is the method of identifying problems and organizing the facts and details of the system in such a way that you can use that information to design systems in the future. An information system combines information, technology, people, and data to support business requirements. Hardware, software, data, people, and processes are the components of an information system. We also looked at the types of information systems that can be formed as a pyramid hierarchy based on their impact and involvement in an organization. So that brings us to the conclusion of this lecture. We'll meet again in the next lecture. Thank you.